We're going to begin with recent residents of an apartment building along the beach dealing with a dangerous problem.
Black mold can be bad news, and in some cases, it can be very bad for a person's health. That's why people are raising the red flag at Aqua on Pacific Avenue. Back in March, 10 on Your Side covered a number of issues at the complex. Residents called us again, saying the problems are getting bigger. Our Michelle Wolf has more from the oceanfront.
We first told you in March about one Aqua tenant's battle with the breeding company. It's been 3 months and she's since moved out, but not before conducting environmental tests inside her apartment. The results, she tells us, were shocking. When we first met Stephanie Van, she showed us a city building inspection for Aqua Apartments. Van was a tenant at the time and went through the list of code violations. Van moved out last month, but not before conducting 3 environmental tests after unexplained health problems popped up.
It was a lot of kidney and bladder issues. The last doctor's visit that I had actually had blood in my kidneys. I was on multiple rounds of antibiotics back to back. It wouldn't clear up.
The tests were done in April. Van says all 3 came back with elevated levels of black mold.
This is my medical test showing that for black mold specifically, I'm more than double the exposure that is recommended.
Brandy Cotton, a math teacher at Great Neck Middle School, also lived at Aqua.
When it would rain, we would get that ring around the vents, and we'd ask, and they'd come and paint and tell us, it was taken care of. So I'm fairly healthy. My partner is a medically retired Army vet. He was blown up in Afghanistan a few times. And he was diagnosed with fibro before.
Cotton also lived on the top floor for the last 2 years. Not long after moving in, she noticed extreme fatigue, unexplained fevers, and headaches. 3 weeks ago, she was diagnosed with COPD. She's never smoked. Her test results also revealed high levels of black mold.
Everything that is abnormal has to deal with the water damage building. It's not us just saying these things. Now we have the scientific proof behind it.
The breeding company told us, we take our residents' concerns seriously and always act immediately to mitigate any issues. The company recently received a complaint from a resident that was deemed unwarranted by a third-party restoration company. There was no evidence of black mold. Van showed us these photos of Aqua's roof.
We have to take back some power here. They can't continue to control the narrative because they control the money.
Both former tenants plan to take legal action. The breeding company again says there is no black mold. There are repairs being made to the side of the building for a water leak. In Virginia Beach, Michelle Wolf, 10 on Your Side.
Yeah, it makes it all the more tragic. What happened, there were 2 babies and an 11-year-old, and for months after this surgery and after their exposure to this mold, all those young patients had to be exposed and were exposed to very, very excruciating medical tests and blood draws. These incidents happened at Seattle Children's back in 2019. Investigators later determined that the hospital did not have adequate air systems, causing Aspergillus mold to grow.
They messed up and allowed these air handling systems to pump dirty air into the ORs where there absolutely could not be dirty air.
The result, a jury finding that 3 victims were exposed to that mold during heart surgery.
2 of the babies had Down syndrome. They had special cleaning needs, special hygiene needs.
For months afterward, lawyers say those young patients were exposed to treatment that was often painful and often invasive.
To get home from heart surgery and find out that the child could have Aspergillus inside their body that could spread and kill them is horrifying. It was a horrifying experience for them.
In a statement to Como, Seattle Children's said it, quote, accepted responsibility for the potential exposure in our operating rooms, and we accept the jury's verdict. In the end, none of the patients were actually sickened by mold. Yet a jury found that Seattle Children's still owed those families for pain and suffering. We should mention this, too, that we are just at the beginning of this. That's because as part of this class action lawsuit, there are 70 other plaintiffs. So this legal battle is far from over. Coming to you live from Seattle tonight, Ryan Sims, Como News.
That is the sound of summer right there. Your AC's job is to cool the house, but constant high heat means it is consistently working harder. You want to help it, don't you? Well, Well, change the air filters, really. I know it sounds really simple, but chances are your air filters probably look like this. A dirty air filter is one of the most common reasons for HVAC system failure. A dirty air filter makes your fan motor work harder, consumes more energy, which of course you're paying for, by the way. And dirty air filters allow heating and cooling coils to be caked with dirt and more prone to burning out. Now, these really hot days do the very same thing that really cold days do to your plumbing. Metal pipes can expand and contract, and over time, they leak.
You want to inspect your plumbing routinely or have a plumber do it on a recurring basis. You could also consider installing a leak detector. They're a little bit expensive right up front, but they can save you tons of money in the long run.
Consumer Reports recommends this leak detector from Moen, but it's over $400. I checked the ratings of other detectors and found the second highest rated for Consumer Reports is only $75, and it gets 4 out of 5 stars. Now, high heat and humidity can also create the ideal conditions for mold and mildew. Consumer Reports tests dehumidifiers and says this Medea for larger rooms can help remove water from the air and maintain that ideal humidity in your home, which, by the way, is...
You want to keep the humidity inside your home between 30 and 50%. Anything higher and mold and dust mites can thrive. A dehumidifier can help with that.
And just a quick note about that leak protector. Your homeowner's insurance covers when a pipe bursts and suddenly there's an emergency. It does not cover water damage like this right here from a consistent leaky pipe that creates flooring issues or mold. Insurance considers that maintenance that you did not do.
But first, a young family says it needed to escape what they claimed was an impossible situation with mold.
They say their North Palm Beach apartment became so bad it made their baby sick. WPTV News Channel 5's Matt Cesney talked with them and pressed the building's owner for answers. Matt.
Michael Kelly with the climate here in South Florida. Mold, of course, is a problem that can seem to turn up anywhere. And here at the Sanctuary Cove Apartments in North Palm Beach, the family that contacted us says they tried to get the problem fixed, but things just kept getting worse.
After a few bad thunderstorms, it started smelling a lot worse in here.
Eliza Lieberman says it only took a couple of weeks when she knew something wasn't right in the apartment that she had moved into in August. And then her 3-month-old baby got sick.
He has an upper respiratory. He's gone to the pediatrician 3 times in the last 12 days.
Eliza says suspicions about mold started when she noticed cracks in a wall outside her door, and then testing by the apartment staff, which showed a moisture reading of 24% in the wall. According to the International Association of Home Inspectors, that kind of reading isn't proof of mold, but it is enough to raise a red flag. When the walls were peeled back, Eliza says she snapped this picture, appearing to show a black coloring.
So they actually came in here, and the bottom of this, they did replace the baseboard, but the whole thing was rotted.
Attempts at repairs, she says, didn't work. In a statement, the company that owns the Sanctuary Cove Apartments says they are in the process of investigating the allegations, and they take such allegations seriously. Eliza says the situation became too serious for her and her family.
Whatever type it is, you cannot just live and breathe it in all day. I'm home with him every day.
Eliza says she and her family moved out of here earlier this week, willing to take the financial hit of breaking their lease early. And she says she wants others to know the importance of carefully checking out any place before moving in, something she admits she did not do here. Live in North Palm Beach, Matt Cesney, WPTV News Channel 5.